Hello, my little goblins. We're back at it again, and this time we're playing Exosisters. And I know you guys are saying, Fatzoid, you've played Exosisters at least twice before. But guess what? Shut your mouth, because Exosisters just got new support. And what's the new support? It's Aratama. Actually, this card's already been in the game, but we didn't have its counterpart, which is Sakitama. So Sakitama and Aratama makes it so you have an extension. It's a one card extension with Aratama. So if you actually, you know what, the ratios, now I'm looking at this, maybe I should be playing 3 Aratamas and 2 Sakitama. The thing is, Sakitama is like just a better card because this card you don't need anything with it. You just a free normal summon. So like if you open like any Exosister plus Sakitama, you can full combo. So I think that's why we're playing 3 Sakitama. So yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, one thing I will going to note: these Exosisters have secondary effects. So like Michaelis and Caspitel, they all have like secondary effects if you use an Exosister monster as material. So if you need to do the banish with Michaelis, you can't use Sakitama with Aratama. You have to use like Sakitama with an Exosister for you to get at least the banish effect. You can still do the search no matter what. But I just want you guys to know that. So, searches can happen, just the secondary effects don't. So if you need, like, the graveyard, can't special summon from graveyards off of Caspital, then it's going to be pretty important for you to do that. So, what else are we playing? Well, we're playing Thrust, we are playing Talents, we are playing D-Barrier, and we're playing Evenly Matched. These are all one-ofs in the deck, and we have them as one-ofs because I get very unlucky and tilted, and I don't like having to deal with my opponent getting lucky. I played against Kashtira like twice, and both times they banished my talents. So like when I had Thrust in hand, I had no targets for it, so I had to put Evenly Matched just because I was just getting tilted from that card getting banished. So yeah, I think this deck's really good. The strongest point of the deck is the fact how many hand traps you play, and you guys are going to see what I'm talking about in the game. So let's get into some games and you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Alrighty, we're here with game number 1 against Mike Villa, and this is what I'm talking about. Like, if I was playing a combo deck that just barely played any hand traps, like, I would just have to deal with full combo, but since I'm not, I have like 3 interruptions and I have full combo in hand. So that's what I'm talking about. Decks that can play a ton of hand traps, you're going to have a way more fun time because when you're playing going second, it's like you're not going to be absolutely neutered. So here we just effect failure this. We Ash effect failure. The purpose of doing so is he has to extend even further. So now, this is what's interesting. If he goes in the Ghost Trick combo, I actually have Ghost Spell, and that counters the combo. He'd be fucked. So there's really not much you can do here. Actually, his best play is going to the Lysergic monster, which he actually ends up doing. Because, like I said, I don't think he's not even playing the Ghost Trick combo, but if he had it, we had to answer for it. So he just drew Martha, which is insane. So now we're just going to fast forward through this. I'll try not to click as much, because you guys complain about the clicking. But it goes by faster when you're clicking. That's the only reason why I do it. So here comes Michaelis. Michaelis is going to add Returnia. We're going to banish the My Friend Pearly. And then we go into Magnifica. And we're going to just banish the Lysergic monster. The reason why we just banish it without dealing with it is because he can use it to go Zeus. He's going to draw 1 card here. And, like, we know he has at least one My Friend card, like one of these Happy Memories cards. But we don't really care about that because we have Returnia. And if he ends up drawing something stupid, like a stupid trap, we have Red Reboot. I mean, we're super fine. There's no way we lose. Hiragaki's me, which is actually a little tilting. But nothing I could do about it. It's a good thing. If this was a monster instead of a spell, he actually could have just, like, really messed me up there. But here we go. Here's Martha. And then he just scoops up because he doesn't want to deal with the smoke. Which I don't blame him because I wouldn't want to either. I probably scooped a while ago. Alrighty, we're here with game number 2. We opened a really solid hand again. And anyone saying, oh, you're only winning because of hand traps. Well, thank you. That's the point of the deck. So I'll just tell you. He actually, very interestingly enough, he added Saravis to hand. So he's gonna summon. He's gonna get Lebellion. He gets Saranir. I was actually very confused on what he's playing because I don't usually see Diviner with these types of cards. But we max here our opponent, which is really good. Alright, he's gonna use Chaos Space to shuffle, draw a card. Here's Lebellion. We're gonna let him. We're gonna actually imperm because we wanted to get this out of the way. So that's the reason why we did that. So now he goes into Anaconda, which is actually really fine. Like, I am not worried about this at all. Like, Mirror Jade, A-okay, buddy. Go Mirror Jade. Alright, so big issue here. I'm going to Ghost Ogre the Branded Beast. So this actually counters as the Branded Beast, so I was completely fine with this actually resolving. Alright, so Deep Area is huge. We grab Sakitama. So here, actually, this is the big misplay I make here. First of all, I went to Michaelis because I knew I knew he was going to banish whatever I summoned regardless. So I just went Michaelis because I knew this would force it more than the other card. So that's the reason why. But big misplay here is I should have just summoned, should have special summoned Martha, because actually if he actually knew what the cards do, right? Aritama, obviously great normal summon stuff. But if I summon Aritama and then I summon the Sakitama, Martha can only be special summon if you have, like, Exi monsters or no monsters. So if this guy just activated Mirror Jade in response to Sakitama being summoned, it kind of would have fucked me over. I'm not even kidding you. So this is actually, like, a big misplay. I should have just Martha'd first. That would probably force, like, the Mirror Jade activation pretty quickly, too. And then I could have just done the Sakitama stuff afterwards. So, but here we go. And for anyone saying, like, oh, well, this only, you can't use Exosister monsters effect if you use this effect. Well, technically these are all normal summons, so you can actually use this regardless. It's pretty funny. So, and we get Nibiru. We get Nibiru, which you'd think would be an issue, but we have so much interruption, it's not even funny. So we go spell the Fall of Alabaz getting summoned. And we should be Gucci. We're going to Ash this Chaos Space, which he still can use. Oh, not right now. He can't use it right now, but we're going to kill him. If you're wondering why I'm not doing anything, I can't actually do anything with Sophia. Technically, I could. So, debate. I could technically normal summon Sophia, go Lina, you go into Celine, and then use Celine to pop this. No, you can use Celine to go to access code and then pop this, which is definitely a play. I just didn't know if it was worth wasting this when I could just wait and see what happens so it can combo off afterwards. I just didn't know what this card was, and I didn't want to, like, get it wasted. So here he comes Baldrake. Baldrake lets him draw a card. He's gonna go this into Striker Dragon. I'm just gonna Ash it. And the game's over. I just want to point out, if he even had a fusion effect, I had D-Barrier. Like, this guy was fucked regardless. There's no way he was winning this game. But he does lose, unfortunately, because he played Striker Dragon. He's at 3,900, and he loses to his own token. So, thanks for the token, pal! Thanks for giving me lethal, bud! Nibiru token is the best end boss that this deck has. Alrighty, this is game number 3 against Paperia Gamer? I don't know. I want to say Papega, but it's not. We actually don't have any hand traps here. So I think I end up holding the Infinite Impermanence until my turn. Because it's really, like, Virtual World's like one of those decks that, like, if you interrupt, like, one thing, like, you have to interrupt, like, a million things, I feel like, because it feels like you're playing against Math Mech, you know what I mean? Where it's like, your interrupts mean nothing. I guess I could have interrupted this, but, like, I don't know. Personally, it's whatever. So, he goes into his end board, ends up being a pop, spell trap negate, monster negate, and then everything gets banished. Which this deck doesn't care about banishing, which is nice. Honestly, probably should be playing D-Shifter, but we're not. So we're going to Imperm. Totem Bird is going to negate it. Then we're going to Imperm again. Now we're going to Pax, add Martha. I'm going to use Martha's effect first. He's going to pop. Then we're going to use my second Ellis to trigger him. Caspatel. He's gonna activate. This is actually funny. He activates Havness, and like, I feel like that's such a cope. Like, whatever deck he's playing. I don't know if he just does it to get more virtual world cards in the deck, but in the graveyard. Feels like a cope to have in the deck, though. So yeah, Sophia. Sophia is gonna get summoned, and then we normal summon Sakitama. He has Michaelis. We're gonna hit actually the gate here. Because the gates are really annoying. Then we're gonna kill this. Honestly, I was thinking like maybe I should just kill this, but there's no way. Like my card's an attack. There's no way he can just make a Zeus easy. Plus he has no material on it, so that's the reason why I killed the Shen. Shen can bring itself back though. But I have the Deep Area, so that's probably why I did it. I have Deep Area. So we're gonna banish this and then go into Michaelis. He's going to activate Gate to special summon, and I'm just going to banish the card he's going to special summon. And then Shen's going to come out. I'm going to D-Barrier so he can't activate any synchro effects. Kind of a yikes. And then he does this. I'm going to banish both of them. You keep the... If you have a way of keeping them off all the virtual cards, virtual world cards, they're not going to be able to do anything. It's just... The thing is, it's really hard to do so. So now it's just game, because I have Michaelis activation, we can use this to add packs, and we have Martha in hand, so yeah, he just scoops it up. Understandably, he scoops it up. Alright, we're here with the fourth game, and again, our hand's really good. 3 hand traps. Our opponent does open kind of ass here. I'm not gonna lie. But we did have 3 hand traps. Like, let's be honest with ourselves, Ghost Bell, Imperm, Ash is pretty good against Mathmech. Like, there's like very key points I can hit that really fucks him over. So he's gonna draw. Okay. This is fine. This is actually like really, really fine for us. So we're gonna activate Sakitama. We normal summon. We're not gonna activate Michaelis' effect. We're just gonna go straight to combat. The reason we do this is because if this is Signet Kodak and he just has it, like the Signet, the trap, the negate trap, he can only do it if he has a Code Talker on the field, right? This doesn't count as one, so we banish it. It ends up being super factorial. Yeah, Pax, Martha. The only unfortunate thing about adding Pax here, I couldn't go into Caspatel first. Because the card has too much attack. I couldn't run over it. So that's the reason why I went Michaelis first. So that's why I don't have Return now. And then I get Nibiru again. The good thing is I have Imperm. And I have Ash. And I have Effect Failure. And I have Martha. So, actually, you know the huge misplay my opponent did here? Because my opponent actually probably could have won this game. But the biggest misplay he did was he should have, before I activated Caspatel's effect, right? Because I had 1, 2... 3, 4. Yeah, Caspatel's my 5th summon. He should, before I used the search on it, he should have debuted. He shouldn't have waited for Magnifica. Like, that was the biggest misplay he did, because now I have follow-up. I have all these interruptions plus follow-up, which is like GG. So, he goes into Talker, which is fine. A lot of these decks I'm just going to say, a lot of these decks aren't playing Access Code anymore, so it really does hurt. So he's going to bring this back. The reason why I interrupt this is because I want to keep the token on the field. But now that I'm thinking about it, that was actually kind of brainless of me. That was actually really bad of me. I did it because I wanted to keep the token on the field to beat his ass with his own token. But realistically, I should probably want him to kill the token. Because if he kills the token, it frees up space for Martha. You can't use Martha's effect unless you have a free board. So, alright, this is going to be the 5th and final game. Again, we have Maxi, we have Thrust. Things are looking juicy. I didn't Maxi, by the way, in the beginning because I'm going to be real with y'all. I wasn't paying attention. I was watching something my brother was doing. But it ends up working out. We draw to Ghost Ogre. Insane draw, by the way. Ghost Ogre does not target, so this card does nothing to it. So this actually stops his play right there. Boom, poppy. Thank you. And now our opponent loses because we have full combo. Oh, wait, never mind. Actually, Droll does actually hurt a lot here. There was a world where I normal summon Martha and then normal summon Sakita so I can go into Zeus, but I think this is better. You just banish. He goes effect veiler, which is funny. I attack for 25. I'm gonna thrust into D barrier and it's GG. This is why we play thrust D barrier, because when your opponent is cringe like this, you can just shut them out of their turn. The turn's over. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a fun day, little cat losers. Hello, welcome to the recap. Hope you guys enjoyed this so far. If you guys like this type of content, subscribe to the channel. If you don't, just subscribe anyway. Just hate watch me. I don't care. Also, join our Discord. The Discord is down below. We host tournaments every Friday, and it's pretty litty in there. Any updates and stuff I have, like that's usually where I post it, is in the Discord. So, let's talk about this deck. First of all, I was a terror on the ladder. I kind of feel bad because this deck is just so many hand traps. It's so toxic to... Like, I know hand traps help, but, like, they help play against the combo decks, but, they, man... You know how demoralizing it is for me to open, like, Aritama with, like, 4 hand traps? It's like, okay, hand trap, hand trap, hand trap... Hand trap, your turn's over, you used all your cards, or used most of your cards, and then I summon Aritama, and I full Exosister combo you. So I have 4 banishes for your turn, and you take 5,600. Like, that's demoralizing. That makes me want to leave the game. The triple tactics throughout, like, the random one-ofs, like, actually worked out pretty well. And I think they work out well because, like, these are all really high-quality one-ofs. Like, Evenly is, like, maybe, like, one that's, like, maybe debatable. Like, it's a good card, but it's, like... It's a really good card, but it's only good going second. But, like, all these other cards, good going first or second. Like, D-Beer is technically better going first. But it's not... As you've seen, I was able to, like, deal with their board, and then I can thrust into a D-Barrier. Which is nice. And the thing I like about Thrust, too, even if you droll, you can just set a card on the field. Also, Thrust, remember, lets you search out a trap if we can't get trap. So, nice little things like that. Red Reboot is in the deck, by the way, because if our traps get Red Rebooted, we're in tough shape, so we have it for Crossout Designator. If you guys don't want to play Red Reboot, you don't have to. It never came up, so that's the only reason why we're playing it. But yeah, I mean, this deck felt really, really good. Also, Red Reboot's, like, Labyrinth is pretty popular still in ladder. So it's pretty good, obviously, against Red Labyrinth. You just Red Reboot them, and then you go to Zeus, and you wipe the board. So, yeah, it felt really, really good. I was surprised, too, because I thought this deck was going to feel terrible. The way to make this deck better, in my opinion, is maybe take out some of these poopy cards. Like, take out the Red Reboot. And maybe, I'm not really 100% sure, just take out Red Reboot and maybe one other card. And you can put in like 2 D-Shifters. Or you can just add 2 D-Shifters, remove Red Reboot, and then play 42. D-Shifter seems really, really crazy in this meta. Like, I know... So here's the thing. I know, obviously, that Kashtira is relatively popular. But I find that Vanquish Soul and Pearly are way more popular, and Labyrinth. In all those decks, even though Vanquish Soul can play D-Shifter, it still hurts them. It hurts their recursion. Like, they're not going to be able to use Rock to pick up cards from the graveyard or anything like that. So it does actually hurt them in a sense. So I actually think D-Shifter in this deck would be really, really gnarly. I just feel like part of the reason I didn't play it was because I feel like the replays would have been boring. If it would have been harder for me to get replays if I D-Shifter someone and then they just fucking leave the game because their deck can't play under it. It's like D-Shifter is like one of those cards where a lot of decks just can't play through it. And this deck plays through it very easily because like this deck does not care about it whatsoever. Another thing I want to point out is this deck, you could technically be playing more of the traps. So you can play like 2 and 2, I guess. But I think 1 and 1 is fine. And I didn't find any issues. Usually the games end after 1 Returnia, so I mean, take it with a grain of salt. Another thing, let's talk about power level. I think on a power scaling level 1 to 10, I think this is a solid, maybe like 8.5. It's like an 8.5 or 8 2.5. it's really good, but like it's really solid. I'm gonna say it's 8.5. 8.5 is good. I think it's a really solid deck. I'd put it at like tier 3, like comfortably in tier 3. But I don't think it's moving to tier 2 anytime soon. Just because there are some decks that really don't care about the banishes. Like if you play against Cash Tier, they don't give a fuck about you banishing cards. But there are a good amount of decks right now that it's kind of annoying. So is what it is. The big weakness of the deck, obviously, Nibiru, and the other big weakness is the fact that we do not have negates. This deck has no negates, which is really poopy. But other than that, felt pretty good. I enjoyed it. I actually had a lot of fun playing the deck, unironically. Mainly because the opponents would just, like, I don't know, like, have, like, PTSD from this deck or something, because they, like, freak out. And I feel like they just use cards, like, when they don't need to. They, like, overuse their resources to try and deal with things. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and let me know what you guys think and what you want to see next, alright? Tournaments is Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Check it out. Alright, goodbye!